Let's hear it for these Booyah Pad Crasher hooks. Hey everybody, Mike from FisherMN here, and we are back to the river. That's right, finally getting out to the river this summer. I'm hoping the water levels are okay. I see a lot of traffic here at the landing where there's usually nobody, so I'm guessing something must be going on. Our target species today, smallmouth bass. Let's go fishing. A frog is definitely a big smallmouth tactic. You're going to weed out some of the smaller ones. Man, when they hit, it's pretty awesome. The best scenario is to land it on the grass of the bank and just let it roll into the water. Easier said than done. Smallies are usually one chance, unless there's a group of them. That was a northern that just bumped it. I think it would have hit it a couple of times. Oh, well, we'll find out. Fish on. Speaking of, our first fish, a northern. Real spotty on this stretch of the river. All right, got the skunk out of the boat. These pools that come off the main river are usually pretty good. There's one up ahead that is definitely a fish producer, so hopefully we'll get there and it'll be ready to give us a fish today. So something to think about with a Hobie, it is definitely really nice to be able to go upstream. But just remember, you got to come back downstream. And that was kind of surprising to me the first time I came up the river is, you know, especially with a Pro Angler 14, it's kind of cumbersome. So you really have to plan your moves wisely when you're going around logs and stuff. You got to give yourself plenty of room to make that move around them. So just keep that in mind. Maybe do a little practicing. Go up a little stretch, then come down and see how it feels. Which was opposite of what I thought. I thought coming back would be the easier part. And pedal-wise it is, but maneuver-wise it's not. All right, well, front camera got a nice shot. Got our first smallmouth of the day. Probably about a 15-incher. Stopped at an area that I know drops off, and it paid off. First cast out there. Maybe there's another one. The spot I want to fish is up in there, but you know, sometimes if you know there's some good structure, stop and fish it and see if there's anything home. Especially in the middle of the day. I'm guessing they might be a little deeper. There we go. All right, coming right at us. Oh. I don't know if you saw that, but that was actually a walleye. As soon as I saw it, I reached for the net. Okay. Come up river, make about 100 casts, get one northern, put on the old Fire Tiger diving bait, and what do we got? We got 2 fish and 3 casts. That's the thing about a river, they can get stacked up in certain areas. I really haven't pushed up to where I want to fish this break, so kind of fishing all the areas up to the prime spot, especially since I haven't been here for a while. All right, you caught it here on FisherMN. Look at that northern. Oh my goodness. This is a 4-inch skitter prop. And that's about a 5-inch northern. Have you seen one that small before? Oh my goodness, smallest northern ever. Let's get him back. I think he's just shocked. He struck at it and I set the hook. There we go. What we got? All right, little smallie. Monsters compared to that northern we just caught. All right, that was amazing getting over to this spot. Usually it's like a trek. The river patterns must have changed last year with the drought. Fish on. There's a fish. What a walleye. Right. Nice walleye. Going for some smallmouth, but getting some bonus fish. Not keeping today. We're still throwing our topwater around, but every time we find a little deeper hole, we go a little below the surface with this bomber Fire Tiger. Not real deep, it's just kind of a little minnow bait, and we've had some luck. We hooked 2 walleye, we got 1 in, and now we're kind of going back to the spot here where we just got one. It's a sand point that comes out, but all around it, it's decently deep. There's a fish. Let's see what we got. Fighting like a smallie. It's a decent smallie. Same program as the other side. We came to this side of the river and we were catching them on this Fire Tiger lure over there just off a drop off, and that's what we're doing here. All right, not quite our 20-incher. Nice smallmouth, good fight. I've got a rope on the net today. River protocol. You never know on the river what you're gonna get or what's gonna happen, so. All right, I noticed one of the hooks got a little bent. This lure has caught a lot of fish. I've probably mentioned it before. It's one that I got in my mystery tackle box. And so it's got a lot of fish. Let's see if we can save this hook. All right. We just started kind of getting in there to that deeper water. And if you watch my channel, you know I just love catching fish on top water. But if this little guy is what they're biting today, then this little guy is what we're gonna throw. There we go. How about that? Ah, quick release. Another walleye. Wanted to get that perfect shot and kind of took that perfect splash. So here's how uncharted FisherMN is. There we go. That's where we are on the river. No water here. One of those uncharted areas that you just have to get out and find. But essentially what we have is a sand point coming out. Deep, deep, deep on that side. And we have caught fish all along the way. Walleyes probably 15 or 16 inches. Smalley was probably about 15 inches. Hopeful for a monster. Great to have some action though. This is fun. There we go. That's a better one. That was cool. There's either a couple around there or he just decided he was going to eat it. All right. Nothing like a river smallmouth biting at top water. There we go. Nice jump out of the water. The ones I usually swipe and miss the skitter prop are just small ones, so I usually don't worry if they miss it. And if it's a bigger one and it gets it on its mind, it's going to keep hitting it until it finally gets it. Man, the way he was fighting, if he would have got off, I would have said he was a 4-pounder. It was only just a kind of a medium guy. Maybe a 15-incher. I'm out of practice for these smallies. So great to be back on the river though. If you watch my channel, you probably didn't see a lot of smallmouth videos last year. Really didn't see any from the river here. It was just too shallow. Couldn't get up to these spots. But there's always something to take its place. I had a lake that was going real good last year. So, kind of like the fish follow the bait. Us fishermen just follow the fish. Whatever that was that just came up was big enough for 2 meals if it ate something. Let's see if we can get it. Fish on. Yeah. Let's have a day with walleyes. Look at this guy. Another 15-incher or so. Nice fish. All right. You're lucky we're not keeping today, Mr. Walleye. There we go. Like a walleye palooza today. Right in between that point and that log. Just dropped a cast in there, caught a walleye. All right, gonna try some top water on the way in. Be a great way to top off this day because it's been a nice day of action. Smallmouth and walleye, believe it or not. There we go. Take a look at what we've got here. Walleye number 4 in the boat. Walleye number 5 hooked. Unbelievable. Beautiful fish. Awesome bonus fish on this river. All right. All right, home stretch, beautiful night to be out. Fun night of fishing. As of yet, we have not found our monster, but you never know, it might be just around the corner. Maybe even on this cast. Maybe even on this cast. Nice to be able to get to all my spots today. The river is up high enough. Just a blessing to be out. There it is. Yes. Oh my goodness. You still got him? Looks like he's still hooked. How in the world? He's still hooked. So if I could get him. Let's hear it for these Booyah Pad Crasher hooks. Oh my goodness. Whew. That is a monster. Yowzers. Threw it over the tree thinking, I had luck one time doing that. All right, so I'm gonna get him hooked up so that he's not hurt. Get him in the water. See if we can figure out what's going on with this. There we go, we got our frog. That's where he was living. Woo. Well, we're looking for that big kicker fish. And I also have a skitter walk that I lost. And now I got that back. Let's see if we can get out of here without doing any damage. How about that for an ending to the day? Looking for that one kicker fish in our logs over there. This thing is a monster. I'm gonna weigh it and I'm gonna measure it. Here's the new catch board, complete with FisherMN YouTube. I am so happy to have a monster smallmouth to be the first bass that I measure on the catch board. Let's see if we can do this gracefully. All right, this smallmouth is 19.5 inches, mouth open. Now let's get a weight on it. 4.5 pounds. I tell you, when you've been catching 15 inches all day, I thought for sure it was a 5-pounder. But what a fish. Monster. Great to be able to put it back in the water. We'll make sure it swims away healthy. Amazing way to end the day. Thanks so much for coming along with me. I'll see you on the next one.